In a way, I was hinting that it is about us, that we were kind of in a messy situation if you go from one to another economy. What Sergio has said is it's also about them. The EU, they could have done more. There is a slowing of a pace. I'm turning to you, Majlinda. First of all, I'd like to pay respect as you are a prominent, or at least until recently, were a prominent Albanian politician. You were a minister, a member of the parliament. Therefore, I'd like to ask you one question. How do you feel as Albanian that Albania hasn't got the date? Well, then the second question as well is, do you trust these guys and their leaders? Because they've committed themselves when it comes to regional economic area. You've delivered with your team. You've prepared everything also on diplomas, not only on the roaming, which was a big success, but also on certifications. And due to political issues in the region, they were not ready to sign something you've done, trusting their leaders and the readiness of the administration. So I'm asking you two different things. One, try to step in the shoes of the minister who is not here, again, unfortunately, couldn't make it, and personally comment how you feel about this. And then I'd like also to hear about the work you've done and has not been completed in Poland because of other issues, not because of the RCC. The floor is yours.
Well, thank you, Goran. If you don't mind, I will start from the second question. And definitely that work is not done by me, so I'm following what you were doing previously. And I was just looking forward that we might be enough successful on that, but as you know, everything in the region boils down to politics. And time after time, I feel that we are mired in gloom. So whenever we try to move one step forward, then something happens immediately, and the bilateral issues are spilling over the whole region and the regional cooperation. Well, you mentioned Poznan, and Poznan is only the last meeting, let's say the big one, the summit of leaders. I would have expected, and I wished a lot, to have a successful story in Poznan in all the areas out of the regional economic area. But frankly, we couldn't. We might be hell-bent, you know, but it's quite impossible if the economies themselves will not be eager to deliver on that. So for the audience, just to brief you very shortly, more than 2 years ago, the regional economic area came as an idea to bring together the economies of the region and to speed up the cooperation, and just thinking that there is a reason why regions are coming together in the world, and it is because the Western Balkans, all in all, are small economies divided. And all in all, we are only 18 million people. And that regional economic area is based on 4 pillars. We succeeded with the digital one, and that is a sign that when the political commitment is in force in the region, things could really move on. We didn't succeed with the mobility pillar, which is recognizing professions and academic qualifications for the people in the region. In order to find a job, if not able to find it in Tirana for an architect, they could find it in Belgrade, or if not in Belgrade, in Podgorica, and so on. But at the very end of the day, there is a bigger question. And you were just voicing our thoughts, since you are one of the RCCs as well. So it's on that facilitation agreement of free movement between economies in the region. At the very end, I was thinking, okay, even if we had this mobility pillar approved, what is the sense if for a Kosovar it's not possible to travel to Bosnia-Herzegovina? He will need a visa. Then what is the sense if only during the last year the number of visas that were refused to Kosovars exceeded the numbers of visas issued? And I'm speaking on the region, not on the visa liberalization with the EU. So at the very end, maybe RIA was really a nice framework, but we should really think that that is limited. At the very end, it needs to be enhanced with the political element. It's not a technical process. Regional cooperation is not a technical process. It's based on the political willingness of governments, who are the first ones to make use of the regional cooperation, but citizens as well, who are supporting the process of regional cooperation more than the governments. And I'm pretty sure, Goran, that you've read the latest Balkan barometer data. So the citizens in the region, 74% of them support regional cooperation. They think that it's going to work faster in improving their lives than the EU membership, while they support the European membership, 56%. So there is a huge gap in between, and people trust that it's going to work better with their neighbors. But to make it happen, definitely, we need all to embark on the same vision. Secondly, regarding the process of opening the negotiations. Well, frankly, I was just enjoying the view from here of this panel. So it's usually one of the rarest times that I could really like to be in the margins. But being in the margins with US, it means that you are all safe. What I could not really like is to have that enlargement debate in the margins of European future. And I would plea everybody, every scholar, somebody who could really be smarter than myself, or with due respect of gentlemen in here, to find a new word in naming that process. EU will not be enlarged with Western Balkans, will be completed with Western Balkans. Without Western Balkans, it's always going to be an unfinished business. And if in EU they will not get it right, then I'm afraid that the stagnation and the postponement of opening the negotiations with Albania and North Macedonia, plus continuing with opening the chapters with Serbia and Montenegro, plus granting the candidate status to Bosnia and Herzegovina, that, in a short word, is going to be a risk. And being a firm believer of the European project, as I am, I have to say that nobody has the luxury to lose time anymore. The region has already lost a lot of time due to sufferings due to the war. Yesterday, so 2 days ago, the 80 years of the Second World War was commemorated. But this is the 20th year after the Stability Pact. And then, yes, Western Balkans have a different perspective. We are living in peace. But in terms of real development, it's not there. People are leaving the region. 1/3 of the population of the Western Balkans left their homes in the last 5 years. And 1/3 is 5.7 million people who left their homes. And they are going somewhere else. So these are the real problems in the region. And if we don't really get the feeling that it's up to us to change it, to transform our societies, and at the EU side as well, to think that this is a ringing bell that won't last forever, then I think that we are really going to be not only losing time, but we're really going to lose a big chance for you to be completed. Finally, as an Albanian, I wouldn't really like to speak on behalf of the Minister of Albania. But I've been a minister for EU for more than 7 years in Albania. And then I was in Parliament. So I think that for more than 13 years, nobody could really have an affair as I'm having within you. So it's such a long one. And I really can find it hard to keep that narrative alive in our region. To keep that torch on in the darkness, it's going to be harder and harder. And again, I have to say, this is not a technocratic process. This is a political decision. You have to be bold for that. Otherwise, we are nowhere.
Thank you very much, Melinda. Peter was also saying these things.